Welcome to Middle Class Matters, Business News in English from Dr CMA Alagesan. Bharatmala Pariyojana Road Project under the Government of India, CAG Audit Report 19 of 2023, Part 17. 3. Bharatmala Pariyojana Specific Fund Management MORTH wide its standard operating procedure 21st December 2017 for implementation of BPP-I directed that given the scale of investment and consequent asset-based creation, prudence in accounting and financial planning and management was essential to meet fund requirements of current and future projects. However, NHAA was not maintaining any records in respect of BPP-I specific funds being raised during the Pariyojana period of 2017 to September 2022. MORTH replied in April 2022 that as per National Highways Authority of India Act 1988, funds received from Government of India, borrowings made by the authority and by any other sums received by authority were required to be credited to a fund called National Highways Authority of India Fund. MORTH reply did not address the audit observation regarding proper accounting of funds raised and received by NHAA for different schemes or purposes, including BPP-I, in spite of MORTH standard operating procedure providing for the same. 4.1.2 NHIDCL's Fund Management. 1. NHIDCL Board, unlike NHAA, did not plan or approve any targets for year-wise funds to be incurred or raised for BPP-I projects. And 2. During the period 2017-18 to 22-23, NHIDCL's national highways length under BPP-I was intimated as 2,244 km in 97 projects under BPP-I with total sanctioned project cost of Rs 54,834 crore. NHIDCL received BPP-I specific grants of 1,120.19 crore for road construction works during this period. For other national highway schemes, by Special Accelerated Road Development Program, National Highways original and externally aided projects, it received funds of Rs 42,431.67 crore for road construction works. In regard to the above, audit observed that NHIDCL did not have source of financing BPP-I projects other than government grants. Out of these 97 projects, 78 projects were whose projects which were approved under schemes other than BPP-I, Special Accelerated Road Development Program, National Highways original and externally aided projects discussed in para 3.2, and out of 97 projects, 56 projects with a total sanctioned cost of Rs 26,514 crore have already been achieved physical progress in the range of 10 to 100% up to 31st March 2023. The above facts indicated that the projects were approved under other schemes, while achievements of projects' length were being reported under BPP-I with utilization of funds meant for other schemes, in spite of the fact that CCEA categorically approved dedicated funds of 1,57,324 crore for each other such other schemes apart from approving 5,35,000 crore for BPP-I. However, MORTH still submitted to Committee of Estimates 2021 that the funds allocated under National Highways original were not being utilized for Bharatmala Pariyojana or other MORTH schemes. MORTH stated in May 2022 that no separate funds were allocated for NHIDCL projects under BPP-I. Thus, funds earmarked for other schemes, Special Accelerated Road Development Program and National Highways Original, etc. were being utilized. However, the fact remains that the fund earmarked only for other schemes were not to be utilized for BPP-I, and the MORTH separately sanctioned 1,120.19 crore for BPP-I to NHIDCL during 2017-18 to 22-23. 4.1.3 MORTH Fund Management. MORTH did not prepare details regarding year-wise funds required for completion of BPP-I targets and their sources of financing in respect of its implementing agencies. Road wing of MORTH like NHIDCL did not plan or approve any targets for year-wise funds to be incurred or raised for BPP-I projects, and 17 projects with a total length of 879 km comprised the BPP-I lengths being developed up to 31st March 2023 by road wing of MORTH. These projects have total sanctioned cost of rupees 9,973 crore. All these projects were being constructed under EPC mode or as item rate contract, thereby being funded through government financial support. Out of these 17 projects, 4 projects with a total length of 244 km and total sanction cost of 1,353 crore were those projects which were awarded prior to approval of BPP-I and still being funded under BPP-I, besides exaggerating the achievements of BPP-I. MORTH did not furnish reply to the audit observation. 4.1.4 Targets for year-wise lengths to be constructed under different components of Bharatmala Pariyojana. Components of Bharatmala Pariyojana were varied and were identified to cater different types and volume of traffic so as to serve overall objective of improvement and streamlining of the network connectivity within the country. Each component has a purpose. Border roads were to be developed after considering requirement of border areas, while feeder roads were to be developed to connect two economic corridors. Similarly, economic corridors were planned for connecting important economic centers in country, while coastal and port connectivity roads were planned for transporting freight to and from inland areas. Thus, the type and volume of traffic on different components of Bharatmala Pariyojana could not be same. However, development of different components was interdependent upon each other, as traffic could move between various economic corridors via inter-corridor and feeder roads and then could move to ports or international borders through port and international connectivity roads. Hence, the development of an economic corridor in isolation would not fulfill intended purposes unless connecting inter-corridor and feeder roads, border and international connectivity roads, coastal and port connectivity roads were developed simultaneously along with multimodal logistics parks. Further, due to its inherent specifications, each component has its own revenue generation capacity, that is, the revenue expected from border roads and inter-corridor and feeder roads would differ from that of an economic corridors or expressways. Thus, based on financial viability of project belonging to a particular component, its mode of construction could be determined. Thus, BOT toll mode would be more feasible for economic corridors or expressways rather than border roads. Considering prudent project accounting, economic sustainability of a project would also help in determination of whether the projects needs to be financed through market borrowings or through government financial support, even it was being planned under EPC or HAM mode, because it would not be prudent to finance a border road through loan money, as it would not have sufficient traffic to fund its own debt servicing cost. However, economic corridors or expressways would be viable option for financing through loan. The mode of construction of a project, source of its funding and its priority during BPP-I period was to be determined based on above analysis. Thereafter, targets for year-wise national highways length to be developed under different components of BPP-I along with year-wise funds requirement from the pertinent sources were to be determined and respective profit centers were to be identified. However, MORTH and its implementing agencies did not determine any such implementing agency-wise targets for development of national highways length each year under different components of Bharatmala Pariyojana from specified sources of funds and corresponding profit centers. MORTH, in its reply in April 2022, stated that project-specific status of implementation referred in the audit report have been replied separately. Regarding NHIDCL, it further stated in May 2022 that it has prioritized the projects based on detailed project report finalization and the status of land availability. It has put up all the projects details and project summary findings, Bharatmala projects in the board meetings as part of the overall year-wise targets. MORTH reply was not specific to audit observation that no exercise was carried out by MROTH, NHAI and NHIDCL at the time of BPP-I inception with regard to taking up and completion of year-wise national highways length under different components of BPP-I along with fund requirements for the same from identified specific sources. Thus, there was disconnect among the financial outlay approved by CCEA, financial plans for BP1 approved by respective implementing agencies and the realization of the plans thereof. MORTH did not plan year-wise funding and financing pattern for road lengths to be developed by its implementing agencies under different components of BPP-I. Recommendation number 12. Considering material changes in the physical and financial targets approved earlier by CCEA and the resource requirements for BPP-I in future, MORTH should consider approaching CCEA again to appraise the progress made so far and funds required by the ministry in future. MORTH should draw up the note for CCEA's information and approval after detailed analysis and discussion with concerned stakeholders, including its implementing agencies, NHAI and NHIDCL. Recommendation number 13. In accordance with sound financial management principles and to establish responsibility centers, there should be a mapping of the scheme-wise funds released to ensure that funds meant for one scheme are not diverted for other schemes. 4.2. Achievement of modal mix. MORTH wide its standard operating procedure 21st December 2017 directed that each implementing agency, including NHAI, needed to decide a modal mix of projects under BPP-I in line with the financial outlay approved by CCEA. On review of modal mix adopted by different implementing agencies, audit observed the following. 4.2.1 Modal mix for NHAI. NHAI board in its 118th meeting contemplated the following three modal mix for the implementation of BPP-I project. Table 4.3 Modal mix for NHAI. 1. Base scenario. Percentage of BPP-I 60% under HAM. Percentage EPC model 30%. Hybrid model 10%. Scenario 1. HAM 50%, EPC 10%, BOT 10%. Scenario 2. HAM 50%, EPC 30%, BOT toll 20%. After considering the fact that the reduction in private investment would increase the total expenditure of NHAI along with increase in debt servicing costs, NHAI board approved the base scenario for BPP-I projects 60%, 30% and 10% for HAM, EPC and BOT toll respectively. NHAI awarded 666 projects with a total length of 23,268 kilometers under BPP-I till 31st March 2023, the details of which were as follows. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel and share it to your friends and relatives. we as citizens of India should be aware of what is happening to our tax money, what we are paying, how the tax money is being used or misused by the government. The only source of knowing this is the CAG audit reports. Whenever you are free, please watch all the episodes of this CAG report. You will come to know how our taxpayers' money is used by the government. Thanks for watching.